Hi guys, thanks for stopping by my channel. I appreciate the time you're taking to watch my content. I'm Tanya and I make budget videos with little tips and tricks that I'm learning along the way. I upload videos 2 times a week. I really started this channel just to hold myself accountable for my budget, but having said that, I really hope it inspires you to start your own budget journey. So let's get into today's video. In today's video, I want to show you how I handle closing out a budget and why those categories are important that I showed you in an earlier video, and the highlighter method. Coffee first. First thing in the morning. Okay, so let's get into this. I'm just going to use January as a guide. So let me remember our budget categories, and I told you what each one consisted of. I'm going to take it out just so it's easier for you guys to see. I'm also going to get my highlighters here. And remember, I've got them all labeled according to, I hope there's not a glare on this, but my pink is groceries, and groceries includes food, eating out, and any household items. My yellow is allowance, and that includes gas, cigarettes, and anything fun that my husband and I decide we want to do. Orange is bills. That includes every bill that I have listed over here. All of these bills I just wrote down here so that I will know that anything in orange is a bill that came out. And that one just came out, so I'm going to go ahead and mark that. As you can see, all my bills for January have been paid. Okay? And then it goes so on and so on. Paychecks is Mike and Tanya's paychecks. The blue is all my sinking funds, my short-term, my long-term, my variable spending, my savings, my emergency, and my debt. So all my sinking funds are in blue. And then my savings challenges, all of my savings challenges are in this burgundy color. All my rollover, my $5, $10, $20 challenges, my 52-week challenge, and my 104 envelope challenge are all going to be colored in this color. Okay? So now that we got these, I'm just going to lay these up here. And I'm going to flip over to the back. This is the last week, okay, that I had. Now, if we flip over here, we have an expense tracker. You're like, what in the world is an expense tracker? This is where I keep track of every single dollar and where it went. So this right here says old because I have an old checking account that, as you can see, just a few things come out automatically every month. And instead of closing out this account and getting a hold of these people and having it automatically come out of my regular checking account, I just keep this one open and I transfer money in it twice a month so that I have enough money for those bills that come out automatically. Okay, my new is my checking account. So this is everything that came out of my checking account, everything that went into my checking account, all that. You can see here, my starting balance was 0. This is what I had at the end of December in this account. The 4630 is what I had in the last day of December in this account. That's where I get my starting balance. And you can see the cash is 0 because I do a $0 based income. So my cash, I start out with 0. Okay. So now let's go over what all of these mean. So as you can see by my little guide here, let me just kind of try to put this in here so you can see this over here. All my bills are in orange. So what I do is the last week or so, I come through here and I highlight everywhere I put bill. I will keep track of what it is and what category it goes into and the amount. So you can see on my old account, all that's coming, all the categories I'm using in this account is my bills and my paychecks, because they're highlighted in green. My bills are highlighted in orange. So that lets me know at a glance what's happening in this account. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Now let's go over here to this account. Oh, this account, this is why it's so important to keep track of this stuff. I did good in January. I was able to, put money in my sinking funds, put money in my savings challenges. My bills were paid, but when you flip over here, oi, do you see all this yellow? What is all this yellow? I am not happy about this. February is not gonna look like this, I hope. In yellow is the allowances that I allow for me and my husband. Gas, cigarettes, and fun. Look at all this. This is ridiculous. Look at all that. That is crazy. I mean, we did fine in January. But this lets me know, okay, things are getting out of hand. Like you two are just starting to spend out of your checking account just because you want something. Now, granted, these two down here are because of my scrubs for my new job. Scrubs are expensive. Did you know that? Whew, wow. But anyway, granted, I know what these two are for and I understand that. But all this other stuff, no way. This is just out of hand. So, February, we're going to work on that. That's why this highlighter method works so well. So anyway, I just think, yeah, no, this allowance, we've got to cut this stuff out. I added it up just to see because I was curious. Oh my goodness, guys. Look at this. Let me bring it over here. $664.08 and a little unhappy face just in the allowance category for January. That is just way too much. Think about that. I could have put, even if I would have put, okay, $200 of it was my scrubs. So take away $200. If I would have put $400 in some of my sinking funds, we still could have had $64 just to have fun on, which is a much more manageable number for the month. So this right here is just crazy. It blows my mind. But again, that is why using the highlighter method is so good, because you can see just by the color. Oh my goodness. Even if you don't know what that yellow means, you can come back to your budget categories and look at it and be like, oh yeah, no, we can cut some of this back. Right? Like bills you can't cut back. Paycheck, I mean, if you wanted to do a side hustle, you could increase it. But allowance? Come on now, people. So yeah, I'm going to work really hard on that for February. So this is the new checking account, okay? Now, you see here my total balance is $27.20. That's the ending balance for January. So what do I do with that? I am going to go over to February. And again, in the back, I've already got my old expense tracker filled out for my old account, which let me just go over here and see. It's $18. So I'm going to go ahead and write my starting balance as $18. My new account, the starting balance is $27.20. And again, the cash balance is always 0 because I always tell every dollar what job it needs to do. Now, normally I like to have this end number bigger than this beginning number because that means I am building up a bank buffer, a bank cushion, if you will. But again, I spent a little over $200 on uniforms, on scrubs, and that's not even enough to get me through a week of working. So I'm going to have to buy a few more, not a lot. I don't want a bunch, but normally I'm happy if this end number right here is larger than this number, then that means I'm making progress towards having money in my bank as a buffer. Okay. So like this starting balance was 0, but I have $18 this time in this account. So I'm happy with that because I'm building my buffer. This one, again, if it wasn't for all of these yellows, then I would have had plenty of buffer. So now let's go to the cash. So if you look here, you're like, if you're like me, you're like, there's an awful lot of blues, and I call this like a maroon, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. So if I go over here to my blues and my maroons, so this is one page of my cash, and then this is the other. You see how much all the blue and the maroons take up? So if I go over here to look, well, my blues are my sinking funds. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with there being a lot of blues because my sinking funds are getting funded with cash. And then the maroons here, and it would have been more had I listed each one of these individually, but I ran out of room. So the maroon is my savings challenges. So I'm okay with all this blue and maroon because I know that it's money that I'm putting in these binders here. So I'm okay with that. That makes me happy, actually. So, yeah, so I'm okay with all of those colors. But it just blew my mind about all of this yellow and the amount it added up to. That's why the highlighter method is so good. You can see at a glance what's going on, what categories you're spending too much money in, what categories need tweaked. You can figure all that out if you use your highlighters at the end of the month, and if you keep track of every single purchase, every single dollar, where everything's going. This helps you understand where all your money is going. And stay tuned. In what, 4 weeks? Yeah, I'm going to be seeing if February looks a lot better, I'm hoping. I'm hoping February looks a lot better with a whole lot less yellow in there. Because that doesn't even include, if you look over here at my cash, I still do my allowance. I allow myself $20 and my gas allowance. So I'm still having allowance coming out just in my cash. This was just extra that we were like, oh yeah, yeah, I want that. Yeah, let me go ahead and order that off of Amazon. Oh yeah, let me, no, I got to stop. We have got to stop. So anyway, that just gives you a little overview on what is happening with that and how that works out. So I hope that helps you. I hope you enjoy me being completely transparent and telling you I'm spending way too much money. Oh, and my husband is spending way too much money. But yeah, that just, even looking at it now, it just blows my mind, all that yellow. So yeah, we're going to work on that. Well guys, that's the end of today's video. Again, thank you so much for stopping by. As always, feel free to like, comment, and share my videos. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification button. I'll see you next time, and until then, be safe and have a great day.